Hello everybody, Theorycrafter here. Today we're gonna review Fnatic vs G2. I am a G2 fan and I thought that this game was really interesting. Of course I'm gonna be objective. Personally, I don't think G2 did really well. I think they really underperformed and I'm really disappointed. And we're gonna see why this happened. I don't know if you would like this type of content. I am planning on releasing some more fun content, with Urf the next days. But yeah, without further ado, let's start. Starting from the draft, I don't know. I don't think someone has a clear advantage. Personally, I'm not really fan of the Azir. I don't think it's that good, especially, they didn't know that G2 would pick Zoe, but this is how they answer. And I will explain you why. So basically, the problem is that they almost have a triple AP top side, and Wunder can really exploit that with the Camille by either going something like Mercury's, perhaps buying some magic resist. Mickey can build some nice magic resist on Alistar. And yeah, it's not good to have triple AP or triple AT topside. Although Volibear is not pure AP, he does a lot of AP damage. It's smart of them to take Talia. I think Talia is a really good jungler right now. Overall, I think both teams, they did a fine draft. The only thing maybe I would prefer from G2 side is a Nautilus instead of Alistar. Kai'Sa Nautilus is really good combo, and I can understand why they picked Alistar. Mickey has quite a lot of games with Alistar, and it's a really good both engage and disengage tool, so I could see why they would want that, especially when they have a Volibear as an enemy, because basically what Volibear will try to do is he will try to first be a front line, and with the help of his ultimate he will try to reach Reckless. And this is what happened in the game, and I didn't see Alistar giving a lot of value. So yeah, let's get right into the game now. So as you see here, and that's something quite interesting, Fnatic decided to go for an early invade. The reason they do that, let me get this out, is because of Thresh. Basically, Thresh can hook anyone being in this bush, and as you see, they leave some nice vision on the enemies bush. So if Alistar is there, they can just hook him and he's dead. G2 on the other side, they protect their entrances to the top side jungle, and both side jungles, they don't look for an invade. A smart idea here could be to look for an invade right into Raptors, but this did not happen. So yeah, so no invade happened, and they looked for Alistar. They wanted to set up some vision, which they did. So as you see here, Selfmade puts a nice ward. Now, with this ward, they know where Jankos will start. And in my opinion, what G2 should have done, the moment they saw that they were invading, because Alistar saw that, Reckless should have go and you don't want to use your ward so early, so a good idea from G2 side is to look for an invade into Raptors, because basically you trick Fnatic. Because if you start blue, they are gonna see you, right? If you start red, they're gonna see you again, right? So what you can do is start from the enemy both side, and you can look for a clear up to your top side. You could even skip blue. Now you lose some camps, but basically you get the surprise factor, which is really good. This did not happen, and Mickey just went back, took a sweeper and get some vision out of the jungle. That's the next key moment, and basically what happened here is Selfmade decided to start from blue, which is of course a really smart idea, because you know that probably Camille is gonna have the upper hand in this matchup. It's not a counter, you know, and Volibear is definitely a good answer to Camille, especially early game, but Volibear is not really gonna have priority. So you prefer starting from blue, doing a full clear to your bot side, and looking for scuttle in the bot area, right? And this is what Selfmade did. On the other hand, Jankos decided to start from his blue, just like Selfmade, and go to the top side. Because again, he thinks Camille is gonna have the priority, and bot side cannot really have priority. They have range advantage from Fnatic side, you know. Aphelios level 1 with his green weapon, and Thresh has more range, so both of them have more range than Reckless and Mickey, so when you have the range, it's easier for you to take priority, because you can push easier and safer. Sure, Kaisa has her Q, but I don't think that's enough to hold them back. So Jankos decided to go topside, and that's quite smart, to be honest. Okay, here is the next key moment that Wunder takes the first blood from G2 side. That's really nice dodge of Volibear C. And basically what Wunder does here is he knows he can trade Volibear, right? Volibear is kind of pattern extending trades, but Wunder gets his shield up. Now, if it wasn't for the shield, Volibear would definitely win the fight. And I think Wunder overestimates himself, right? And he gets punished for that. Now also, as you see here, bot side is taking blood too. You know, Alistar gets a really nice W into their turret, and they kill Hylissang. The only problem right now is that the kill goes to Mickey. And sure, that's not bad, but what you should understand right now is that bot lane is not ahead. Upset is still up. He has more farm. He can easily push right now because the wave is in a really good spot for him. G2 used all their spells. Reckless used heal. Mickey used both Ignite and Flash, so they can't really hurt Upset, which also has the range advantage, plus lifesteal, so he can easily just shove the wave. They can't freeze, so it's not the end of the world. Plus, as you can see here, Selfmade is on the pod side. Now, I'm really sorry for this layout. I wanna find a way to... I'm not sure what I can do to make it live. I will try to find a better way for the next video. But basically what Selfmade can easily just do a lane gank from the bushes now. That of course is kind of, not really the case now because Hylissang dies, but you see my point, so he can just go for Scuttle, then look for a gank in bot lane. So it's not the end of the world for Fnatic. That's the next key moment. Bwipo uses his teleport to go to the lane, right? You see that here. Wunder really wants to back. Now, ideally, he wants to come back to lane without using his teleport. You have Jankos here, and he can help you. That does not happen. So what you will see here is quite disappointed. So you see here, Wunder subs the wave, and of course Wipo, he knows what he's doing. He can easily freeze this wave. There are way too much minions. There are 6 minions. You only need 4 minions to freeze the wave. So you can start, kill some of them and freeze the wave, or at least make a slow push, which will give you the upper hand in case of a fight. Jankos should have come, they know that Talia has probably started from top side, right? They know that. I mean, they are not sure, but they know that. So what Jankos should have done is come to the lane, help Wunder, push the wave under the turret, so that Wipo cannot freeze the wave. There are 6 minions, so Wunder has more than enough time to come back to lane, maybe lose 2 minions at most, and not have a problem, which is not the case. So Wunder just lives here, Wipo can freeze, and as a result, Wunder has to use his teleport to get back to lane, which is quite lame. So as you see here, Wunder gets back, buys his item, he goes for a Sin, really standard stuff for... Sin is really standard for Camille. And he uses his teleport to go back to lane, which is not that good. It's not that good. So yes, he has an advantage, but he could have way bigger advantage. Basically, they could have TP advantage in bot lane, which is quite interesting because, you can really look for a gank, for a teleport gank in bot lane with this setup. So yeah, that's not the best thing. So the game continues. Okay, so here you're gonna see exactly what I mean. Wipo goes for a W, and as you see, Wipo still wins trades if he hits his E. Wunder does not respect that, and what you should understand, especially when you play Camille with Grasp, is that in early game you don't really like extending trades. That's way better for Wipo, because he has Conqueror. Yeah, no idea what's that. Which is of course way better. So you see Wunder's health getting really low. Now perhaps Wunder would like to trade some health with Wipo because he has refillable. Wipo does not have refillable, so that could be an idea here. But it does not really work out, as you see. Both junglers have done their full clear, so they're gonna start again from their buff side. Jankos is bot side, Selfmade is top side. I mean, there's the ward of course, but even then they would surely know that, right? They would surely know that. So Wunder decides to go for a back. Now what's the problem is that Selfmade starts farming, right? And that's a little lame because Jankos tries to do a kill here, tries to gank, but it does not work out. And what Catster said is that, the bad thing was that Jankos did not hit his C, which does not really matter. Mickey has used his CC, there's no follow-up from G2 side. Sure, Jankos has flash, but they do not have the essential damage to kill Hylissang. They just don't. So even if Jankos hit his E, Hylissang would be pretty safe there. So that's really bad idea. And here Wunder dies, you know, from a dive, because he didn't manage to go back. Talia goes for it. So as you see here, Talia goes for dive. Niski teleports. I think that's a little overkill. I don't think it's a good idea. G2 kind of used that to build a nice CS advantage from Cap's side, and Zoe has a little lead compared to Azir. But I think they didn't really do anything with that. So, and in case you are asking, guys, Water cannot live the other way. So someone would ask why Wunder does not go the other way. The problem is he does not have the range. So if he does any like that and then like that, Selfmade has his W. So yeah, there's a high chance that they are killing him anyway if he tries to live. So at least he tries to do some kind of outplay to take some kind of kill, which does not happen. Like, it does not happen. Sure, you know, some nice aggro chains from Fnatic side, and nothing happened. And here Jankos has to burn his flash. He had to stay to help them solve the wave so that there would not be a freeze. And in my opinion, that's not what they should have done. You see here, Drake is gonna be up. You know, Drake is gonna be up. Caps has the priority. He chooses to freeze to punish Niski. What they should have done instead is they should have looked for a Drake. They have the priority in bot lane, so they have priority. Sorry guys, it's my first time doing a review. They have prio in mid, they have prio in bot, plus they know that the jungler is top side. You know, Selfmade will not look to go to Drake, and he will not be there in time. So Caps should have just pushed the wave, or at least make it even and go for Drake. You know, 4 people in Drake. Niski would not be in time. You know, he's behind in tempo. He has burned his teleport. Caps has his ignite. So Niski would not be in time. Caps would be there first. Jankos would be there first. Bot side would be there first. Sure, they would have a problem in lanes afterwards. But Caps did nothing. Like, he did nothing with his advantage in mid lane. Bot lane, sure, it's not like they have any big advantage, because after they bug, they are like, hey, Mr. Fnatic, you can look for a bug. And guess what? Sure, we have 1 kill, you know, but that kill means nothing, because it's on Mickey. And Upset has a CS advantage, you know, 10 CS advantage. So if you go for a bug here, Upset is still gonna come back stronger than Reckless. And they should have really looked for a Drake. Maybe they weren't sure that they would be there, like, you know, because Niski in 6 seconds he would be already in mid lane. But I don't know, I think Drake was the idea here. Plus, Fnatic are kind of scaling better, you know. Sure, Camille scales better. Wait, let's see scaling. Okay, scaling. Top side, Camille scales better. In jungle, Selfmade scales better. Let's do something like that. Azir scales better than Zoe. And Upset does not scale necessarily better than Reckless, but he has better peel, so I would say he scales better. And Healy and Mickey, I think it's pretty even. I wouldn't say that someone scales better than the other. So Fnatic are kind of scaling better, and they're gonna have better team fights, you know, as it has way better team fights than Zoe. Sure, Zoe can snowball, sure, Zoe can do some nice picks, but later on she's not that useful on Drake fights. Or at least it's harder for her to execute that. So G2 should see that and should be like, okay, we need to take Drakes now, like Drakes. And that's something you should have in mind. You want to take Drakes early if you are scaling wars, because probably you are not going to look for a soul later on, right? Because if you give some Drakes now, it's not like you're going to be stronger later on. So it's just so much better to go for the Drake now. Of course, that's my opinion, but yeah, nothing of this happened and the game went on. And as you see here, Wunder comes back to lane and he's in a disadvantage. He cannot freeze this wave because there are so many minions. No, he would need to tank a lot of damage. Personally, I would do that. Personally, in my opinion, Wunder should have to freeze this wave. Sure, it would be hard, but he has his pots. You don't really care for fighting anyway. You know that, you saw self-made before in top side. You know that he's probably gonna be bot side now. So it's not that risky for you. So Youngos is coming top side and you wanna set up a gank for him. And what's the best way to do that than a freeze? You have kind of priority in mid lane from caps, so that's a mistake. Not freezing from Wunder side, that's wrong. Wrong. It's really wrong. Because what happens is Whippo gets to come back to lane, he gets back to lane and he doesn't lose that much CS. He builds a CS difference. He has already a small CS difference because of the dive. Dive is really bad, and the reason dives are so bad is because you lose a wall wave, which is under your turret. That's why dives are so bad when they happen like that. So Wunder, yeah, you're not looking to trade with Volibear. You don't care to trade with Volibear right now. You are stronger later on. You are stronger in side lanes. By the way, something you should notice here is that Wunder goes for a dagger. Dagger plus Sin, that shows he will go for Trinity. In my opinion, that's wrong. That's wrong. You see that you are behind, you have a kill, but you should have in mind that you are behind right now. You are weaker really, you can't really snowball really much. And there's a high chance Volibear will go ahead. They also have Hillsong with a Thresh, which will be tanky. I think Divine Sunderer would be better here. I understand Mickey's idea, but I really disagree with that. Like, Divine Sunderer, if Volibear goes for this Divine Sunderer and Camille takes Trinity, she will have a hard time unless she buys some healing reduction. So, okay, you can go Trinity, but you will need some Executioners or perhaps a Rumble Vest, which will be of course bad because you have AP top side, so you don't want Rumble Vest, you want Executioners, which again you don't want now because you will lose lane even harder. And you see how itemization is really important, guys, and that's something I say all the time, and that's why my name is Theorycrafter. I really care for items, and in this level, players know how to play the game. They know how to play the game way better than me, trust me, or I would be there. And I think pro players should be more careful with what items they buy. So you see Mickey. No, Mickey goes straight from base to mid lane. And the reason he does that, he has a kill, he has some items, he has buy some nice early boots together with a Ruby Crystal. Usually in this bug you would just have, perhaps your boots and wards and some pot, but you wouldn't have a Ruby Crystal. But because of the first blood, he has the Ruby Crystal. Ruby Crystal is exactly, it's exactly 400 gold. You see, they try to do a gank. Niski has put a ward, so sadly for him, that does not happen. Also, something you should pay attention to is that Mickey goes from top side, which is really smart of him. They don't know what Selfmade did. He could still be bot side. He could still meet Mickey if he comes from bot side. So, he could come from here. Selfmade recalled, they don't know that. He could go for cracks. You see, he hasn't taken his cracks. So you can't know that, you can't be sure. So that was quite smart of Mickey. On the other side, Hylissang tries to help his AD carry. So what Hylissang did is he freeze. That's some really nice macro from Hylissang's side. He helped his AD carry freeze, and after he frees the lane for him, or at least make it so he will lose less CS, he goes to match Mickey. He knows Mickey has roam, and how does he know that Mickey has roam? Well, Reckless is alone, so Mickey has to roam, right? Unless he's putting vision. And where could Mickey go? Mid lane. So what Hylissang does is go to mid lane to protect Niski, which is really smart of him. You see, he clears some vision. And so far, both teams have done some nice macro plays. They have showcased nice mechanics. And you will see that it's around this moment G2 really starts fucking up. They start doing one mistake after the other. So, what's the problem? The problem here is the wave. The wave is really bad. The wave is really, really bad from G2's side. You can't even see it in the screen. It's somewhere right here. So they have to walk all the way here. They have to kill 2 minions. That's the problem. The problem is Hylissang. Hylissang is missing. Now, you will see G2 walking up. And you may say, wait, 2 people are here. Why they do that? First of all, they don't know Selfmade is here. Selfmade could easily be top side. Blue is spawning, so it's quite, logical of you to think that, hey, perhaps he will look for another full clear, he will go top side, and he will clear all the way to the bottom. Selfmade does not do that. He walks straight to the Drake. He first tries to cover up Azir. He covers up Azir, and then he goes straight to bot lane. He's looking for a Drake. He knows that bot side is kind of winning from them, because as you how it says it? Okay, sorry. As you see, there's a There's a CS difference from Fnatic size, which translates to an item difference. And sure, this item does not really help you with fighting, but it helps you with clearing waves. So, it gives you extra damage to the minions, which means better priority, which means we can look for a Drake. And what happens here is that if you step up from this line, you are dead. And you will see the moment they cross this line, they are dying. No, you see, they cross the line. They really want to kill this minion. They're like, it's just one minion. And Reckless gets a little greedy. And yeah, at this moment, they're dead. At least one of them. Let's see how this plays out. But yeah, Mickey decides, hey, I can do nothing. Perhaps I could look for a W, under the turret. He tries to do some play. Also, he doesn't want them to chase Reckless 2 and give double kill or burn Reckless flash. So yeah, that's not really well for them. Caps at least still has his priority, has some CS advantage, really tries to get the tempo here. As you see, he tries to stop recall of Niski. So he gets some nice tempo. And pay attention to that. Sorry. By dragging the wave here, you are sure the wave is gonna push to you. So you are sure you're gonna have a push to your side. And what that means is the moment you go for a recall here, you're gonna have a better wave. So in my opinion, Caps should have recall here. He should have recall. They try to look for a gank. That's wrong. That's wrong. I know Caps wants to stay in the lane, right? Drake is up, Selfmade is bot side, G2 knows that, but they also know that if he's in bot side, he should not be in top side, right? Or else the gank would not happen, which means that, hey, he's going top side. So Drake is not that much in danger. Perhaps Wunder has a danger of diving, getting doved, but that's kind of hard, they have a priority from mid lane. Wunder can survive right now unless he tries to do some aggressive trades, which he should not. In my opinion, Caps should recall here. The wave cannot be pushed easily. It's a cannon wave, it's awesome. Like, he will push to his side plus a cannon wave. So, sorry. Why it's not there? Sorry guys. Cannon wave. I know cannon is not written like that. I just do it for it to be faster. Plus push to his side because it's closer to Niski's side. So no, it's really basic rule. If you have the same number of minions and minions are closer to one side, they will push to the other side because minions are coming here faster. So what's the result of that is he can look for a recall here. So he can really easily look for a recall here without losing much CS. Plus Jankos is in mid, so if Hylissang and Niski really try to push the wave, Jankos can always take the wave, Plus Caps has a CS advantage and XP advantage, so at worst he gets even, which will be even for his side, even for Caps if he loses the CS, but Jankos will take the CS, so it's not gonna be that bad. So yeah, I think that's a bad macro play from Cap's side. He didn't have mana, Niski was kind of low. I really think he should have recall. The moment he was there, he should have recall. And Niski would be quite afraid to push the wave. He could maybe do a slow push, but yeah. And try to look for a recall together with Hylissang. Hylissang would help him with a slow push. But yeah, I think Caps did not play that quite well. And that's another macro mistake from G2 side. They cannot look for a gank, right? They cannot look for a gank mid. Yes, Jankos has ultimate, but Caps does not have mana. Yeah, so, you see this bar here? Guys, always see this bar. And especially if you're a jungler, that's a tip you should always have in mind. Does my laner have mana to use his abilities, especially in mid lane? Top laners and bot laners usually don't have that much of a problem. But mid laners use a lot of mana because they want to solve the waves, they want to solve the waves. So they use a lot of mana. So yeah, that's a bad macro call. That's a bad macro call. Let's see. They are really forcing that. They really try to get stuff done. Hylissang does not die, and oh, look, Caps gets a nice waste of his recall. That's another really interesting moment of the game that could go really well, and I think they do not pay attention to something. So what's wrong with this dive? You don't know self-mate is there. Okay, you don't know that self-mate could come. So you are thinking, at worst, it's 3v2. We can make this dive, right? Jankos has ultimate. He has ultimate. Reckless and Mickey do not have ultimate yet. Upset has ultimate, and they should pay attention to that. Upset has ultimate. He has weapons which can slow and can do some nice kiting. And the mistake you should notice here is the wave. No. So as you see, the wave is here. There's no universe that this is pushing without someone being there. Mickey's here. So Reckless, who is here, you can't see him, but he's here, has to come here, push the wave to look for a dive. That will take a lot of time. Mickey tries to set up the dive. He does something kind of smart. So basically what Mickey does there, he show ups. No, he knows that the dive is not gonna be now. So that's not a bronze play. That's quite smart actually. But it also says, hey, we're gonna dive. So self-made, which would look to go top side. He wants to go top side and clear his scams. We'll see that there's gonna be a dive. If this did not happen, if Mickey did not show up here, self-made will just go top side. He doesn't, there's no reason for him to go to bot side just for cracks. He would go top side, the dive would work, but the dive cannot work, again, because of the wave. So Mickey has to go out, and the reason he has to go out is to make the wave stop. Because if he does not stop the wave, what will happen is Upset will have so many minions, and there is no word that Reckless can do this dive. So sure, Mickey does the right play here. He shows up to take minions. So that's not the wrong thing. The wrong thing is some seconds before. It's right here. They should have not looked for a dive. They should have noticed that this is not a dive. This is not a dive. Perhaps they did not know where self-made is, but yeah, this is not a dive. Now, Upset has his weapon. He has his blue weapon, which means, hey, I can clear the waves. Okay, I'm under the turret. But you wasted a lot of time, and self-made is here. So self-made is here. At worst, and you see that they just back up. Why? Because self-made at worst can just ultimate and be like, okay, you just leave. At best, for Fnatic side, he can be like, Mickey, you're dead. Mickey does not have flash, by the way. So Mickey, you're dead. Upset has flash, so he would have a lot of time if he gets doved. So hey, guess what? It was a bad idea. It was a bad idea from the start of the game. Sorry, from the start of the play. And he's dead. And self-made takes a kill. And it's Danzo. Like, both side is losing. Both side is losing hard right now. Both side is losing hard. There's a huge 20 CS difference from both side. Top lane is not like he has an advantage. Jankos has lost a lot of time. Sure, he's okay with farm and all, but he's like, he could be at least ahead in camps. He's not ahead in camps because he wastes time for that. So everyone is behind right now. Everyone but Caps, which, as we said before, he could, Caps survives that, but he loses tempo. He doesn't have mana. Caps will get a bad recall here. Okay, he survives. He's a little lucky. And people were like, oh, Caps, you're so good. No, that wasn't good. That wasn't good because none of this would happen if he had just a recall, as we said before. Niski now gets a nice push. He doesn't lose CS. He can look for a bug to get his mana back. Or he could look to set up some vision. He could look up to do the Drake. You know, self-made is both sides, so he can just do the Drake. The Drake is up. So, yeah, that's not the best. You know, full priority from all sides, and they just do the Drake. That's exactly what they did, right? There's no universe you don't do the Drake here. You have priority in bot lane, you have priority in mid lane. You lost the Drake. And G2 should just decide, hey, we lost the lane. And that's another thing you see here. Wunder cannot win the trades. Cannot win the trades against Weepo. Because he has attack speed. And attack speed is useless. Like, sure, it helps you push the waves, maybe helps a little bit, but attack speed does not help with the trades of Camille at all. The reason being is that Camille, in case you don't know, her Q is an auto reset. So if you have your Q up, you do Q, auto attack, empowered Q, you know, auto attack. Attack speed doesn't really help with any of that. It doesn't help with any of that. And yeah, Wunder thinks, hey, I have the wave. Perhaps I could do some kind of trade. And he's like, hey, I can look up, I can try to live. In my opinion, and the problem is, again, Volibear has his C. His C will tank the damage of these minions. But Weepo is getting focused from all these minions. Wunder could look up to go back on Weepo. Now, Wunder, of course, does not do that. He's like, okay, I can just play safe. And Weepo gets crazy. He just gets crazy. You know. So, ultimate for ultimate. Yes, Jankos is topside, but Wunder is so low. Wunder is so low, he can do nothing now. He can't really help. They're gonna try to do a gank, but they can't, right? They can't do a gank. Weepo knows that Jankos is topside. You know, he was shown by this ping ward Volibear had placed. So he's ready. You are not gonna get surprised by that. And this happens. Now, G2 was gonna take another kill here. You know, just like the first kill. Luckily for them, Reckless takes the kill, but they'll be like, okay, that's a good play, perhaps. I think it's, and people said Fnatic played really well this game. Honestly, I don't think it was really Fnatic that played well. I think it was just Fnatic exploiting the mistakes G2 do. Like, G2 did so many mistakes. And you will see the worst one here. That's the worst mistake you could see. I cannot... He's dead. Like, and that should not... And I think G2 reported some connectivity issues. I don't know if that E was a connectivity issue. I think this E, together with the lag problems probably they had, well, I think G2 was just deleted. I don't think G2 after that they really played well. I think G2 just, you know, they gave up. You know, that's not a mistake. That can never happen in pro play. You can't do that mistake. That's not a mistake you would do, you know, even in a national league, you know, even in national leagues, you know, an average team would not do that mistake. And after that, you will see so many mechanical mistakes by G2. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy. And I don't think there's really much to say that. Like, after that, yeah, it was just so easy. It was just so easy for Fnatic to get ahead. Weepo gets a kill, you know. Okay, Jankos takes Herald. That's, by the way, really nice ultimate from Selfmade. I'm pretty sure he did not have Vision. That was, I think, in my opinion, sure, Weipo carried, but this play over here, this play was the most awesome play. He was like, hey, you're gonna lose all the CS. You're gonna lose all the CS. And you're done. Like, okay, Caps tries to get some CS. But you see, in my opinion, that was the most awesome play of the game. And after that, the game goes on and nothing really amazing happened. That's miscommunication. You know, Jankos used his ultimate and he does not proc it. No, he procs it himself, but you know, the problem is Caps did not have his ultimate before. So that was miscommunication, and that's something that should never happen in pro play. Like, I think that was, you know, you just see bad plays after that. Like, okay, they take 1 kill, Fnatic take 2 kills, it's Caps takes 1 tower shot for no reason whatsoever. You know, he's out of turret. And in order to take the kill, he has to die. I mean, there's a reason, but you know, he just dies. So yes, you have a lead in mid lane, and you lose lead in mid lane. You have lost lead in top lane. You have lost the lane in bot lane. You don't have lead in any lane, and people are probably, you know, tilted. And the game, nothing really. I mean, you know, that's I think the last play that really mattered. After that, it was just Fnatic executing the game right, and I don't think there was. I could show some funny moments. So here Volibear comes, and I think G2 had some chances to win the fight if Mickey did not look for Nisky and just pay for Reckless. Because pay attention to what happens. You know, Volibear just jumps. You know, you don't have a follow-up. Look where your team is. Look where enemies is. Look where Mickey is. So what happens? You don't kill Healy, and you leave Reckless alone. Reckless is dead. Like, no matter what his team does, Jankos does not have ultimate because he used it before. Wunder does not have ultimate. Reckless down. Reckless can do nothing here. Yes, he tries to do stuff, and people were like, "Oh, wow! Look what Weipo did." It was Mickey's mistake. Like, Mickey had the only advantage that Alistar gives over Nautilus is your W. It's your W. You just should be here next to Reckless, and the moment Weipo tries to do that, you W out. You know, you just throw him back and be like, no, leave my AD carry. And no one would die. No one would die. Sure, it wouldn't be a great team fight from them, and Fnatic would kind of win the team fight because they would have used more spells. But after Reckless dies, everyone dies because they don't have the DPS. They cannot turn back. If Reckless was there, they could probably turn back, but that was a huge mistake. You know, when you see here, you know, that's back nothing for that. But yeah, that was really, really bad. And I think Mickey did not play that well this game. Wunder did not play well this game. Caps, I guess he gave up kind of. Reckless from the way he plays and the desperation he had later on where he gave his life for some kills. No, you see that, like, there's a huge advantage. At this point, there's a huge advantage. You can do nothing here. Like, you're in 18 minutes, you have Dragon lead, you have 2k lead. Sure, G2 could come back, but after that they're just mechanical errors. So yeah, there's not much to say. Nothing interesting. So to do a recap, I think that was G2 loss. You know, that was just a G2 loss. It wasn't a Fnatic win. I think it was just G2 losing. They played really bad. I don't know why. There was not communication. There were mechanical errors. Like, you can do macro errors, but errors like that, these errors should not happen. These errors should not happen. They should never happen in a league like LEC. Like, I don't know, maybe Wunder was tired. Maybe G2 as a whole, they were tired. Maybe they were tilted because of their internet. But yeah, Fnatic definitely deserved the win. I don't think G2 would deserve the win. I think if Fnatic lost the game, they would have just thrown it. After 15 minutes, they had the game on their hands. G2 could do nothing. Obviously, that's not to make the accomplishments of Fnatic bad. Like, because I said in the early stages that it's G2 fan, of course. I'm not saying that it wasn't nice, but I think if G2 plays this way, they're gonna lose from Rogue, they're gonna lose from Salke, they're gonna lose from anyone. From anyone in the top teams, of course. It's start of the league. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's not exactly start. We're in week 3, but I think this is not gonna happen in the future. I think Fnatic finally shows their true face, and their true face is that of a good team. It's that of a good team. They finally, you know, Upset gets in the game, Niski gets in the game, they show what they can do. Upset shows that, hey, I can match this guy here. I can match him, you know. I can match him. I'm not scared. Niski shows that, hey, not exactly match him, but I can look you to the face. Weibo says, hey, Mr. Wunder, stop playing WoW. Stop playing WoW and start practicing your mechanics. Please, Wunder, like, you can't play WoW and do these mistakes. Selfmade says, Selfmade and Jankos, yeah, I don't think it was, like, Selfmade did nice plays. Jankos did not lose the game. It was more of Wunder plus, I don't know, whoever shot call. These plays like dives, or there was another, like, they tried to overforce things because they were behind at some point and they were like, okay, we do not scale as good as them, so we need to force plays. And when you try to force plays, that will not happen. You just get more behind. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I'm planning to do some of these reviews. My channel will not be just reviews, obviously. There are many channels you could look this stuff. I'm not the best one. I just thought it was a really interesting game. It had some really interesting macro moments, which I would like to show. And I'm planning to release more fun content, like some Morph games, the following week. Plus, I'm thinking maybe I could do a series of, you know, speaking about some specific builds, perhaps in some champions I'm really looking up to see what I can do. I hope you enjoyed the video. I have no idea if anyone had stayed so far, like till the end of the video. If anyone did that, leave a comment. I would be really interesting to see if anyone managed to see the whole video and not got bored. Leave a like if you liked, or at least stunned my analysis, and subscribe for more content. My name is Theorycrafter, and I'll see you on the next video.